Good afternoon. First of all, I will speak in English. Your language it's quite nice, but sorry, it's too far. I'm originally Czech, so can say something understand, but just a little compared to other Slovenian languages. So yeah, I don't know if maybe you can something translate. If will be needed, will be very appreciated. We participating on following interesting event together with our biggest distributor in Central and Eastern Europe, which is ASBIS. Guys sitting here in the first row. The booth is also closed here to the door to the right. And maybe for the beginning, I just want to ask you, how many of you or who did ever experience with Supermicro products? Means use it or something installed, maybe bought in the past. So a couple of you. Okay, very nice, good. Okay, I'm not a technical focused, so I want to give you just a briefly overview about company. This conference is related to HPC and all the things which belongs to that, to AI. So I will go through some figures. I will show you the products we have in a portfolio. And please, if you will anything want to ask, so just interrupt and ask. Supermicro, it's a quite young company. We are this year 31 years old. From the past, the company was focused more for a componential business. It's still part of our business, but it's not a focused. The last fiscal year, which ends by June this year, the revenue was close to 15 billion US dollars. We have in Europe one central, let's say, office. It's in BV in Netherlands. All the countries included, of course, Slovenia belongs to this site. The HQ of a company is in US, in San Jose, close to Silicon Valley. We have also the subsidiary in Taiwan, as well in Malaysia, and next should come. Now we know that we have to open very soon the office in South America. In America, it should be in Mexico, and other cities are planned as well. The rest of company, excluding the BV office, so means including me, including all the staff which is working for company in Europe, is home office based. So this means that all we do, we have to do that like remotely if we need to solve something with HQ. But the background, I mean the production and the purchasing departments and so on, it's all in BV as well. I'm ex-HPE employee. Just wanna give you some overview compared to HPE. Maybe somebody is interesting. We are now like in Supermicro around 6,000 people. 6,000 people. From this is technical background around 50%. And revenue close to $15 billion. HP done in the last fiscal year total revenue $29 billion. And the staff, the people who worked for HPE, it's over 50K. So just to compare how It's managed, it's a different politics, of course, but just for you to know. Here may be still important to add that we are comparing HPE, so it includes as well classical storage. So this is something what Supermicro don't have in a portfolio. So let's go. This is the portfolio what Supermicro currently offers. I don't want to go to the 1U racks, 2 racks, and so on, but you can see that we cover almost the whole segment of the servers. Some parts of that, let's say the cheaper systems are still available as bare bones, but it's really the low cost, would say, systems, and the focus of a company is for fully integrated systems, which is built up by our techniques. So coming to customers fully functional, no need to install anything and so on. We have right now the capacity around 5,000 racks per month. It's a global capacity, so means including all the sites where Supermicro operated right now. And we have 2K capacity for direct liquid cooling racks, what is, I would say, more complicated for installation and so on. So in total, it's 7,000 of racks. That's the total capacity monthly in a current production. One-stop solution. This is something what, of course, is related to installation. Mainly now talking about the liquid cooling. That's a total solution for a customer. What does it mean? That means that it's designated from the ground. The customer say we wanna following racks, such quantity and so on, and it can include everything what is mentioned there. So it means you can have it delivered with a software, with cabling, with switches, with all management. It's burned. It's really ready just by the delivery at customer site. It's on a customer where it will be installed, and it's just like plugged to the power. And all the necessary steps on the place are done by Supermicro technical guys. What is not so well known, and what I very often hear from customers, which I'm talking, not many customers know that Supermicro produce the switches as well, networking. We have up to 400 gigabits per slot in a switches. I just want to highlight here one thing, and it's just one-time investment. You don't need to pay for a port additional money. You don't need for a transfer of how many petabytes and so on. So it's just one-time investment, and you got it for a lifetime. Same, the most of the switches is coming with open operating system. It's called Sonic. Maybe some of you knows it. We are the part of a consortium, so you can manage the switches from one place, and it's not additional cost. It's free. It's coming with the switches. Then, of course, we offer another switches up to 800 gigabits. It's provided on InfiniBand technology, and it's mainly now connected to, or not connected, but it's from NVIDIA. To the solution. As I said, this is focused for the systems. That's not barebone business anymore. And for the GPU acceleration, which is quite important for HPC, so of course we offer all the GPU accelerators currently available on the market. So it's including NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD as well. We are able to provide the biggest workloads to the smallest, then to storage and so on. As I mentioned, back to the one-stop shop, we do the cloud and virtualization. We cooperate with the providers like Microsoft, Azure Stack. We are able to install Kubernetes. So it's depends on a customer choose and on a customer preferential and related to storage. So we work with let's say currently traditional software producers like Skeletic, Humulo, Veka, Minio, Vast, and so on. So, going to some typical workloads of a GPU, which the customers typically need to accelerate, where it helps a lot. So, I try to cover it on one slide. Of course, there will be in each of that will be included a lot, but I hope that it's including almost everything. There's a machine learning. There are large language models which interprets the human voice, which then you talk. For example, if you call to bank, if I call to my bank, so first what I have to do is always to say hello to that AI guy. He asked me something, then I reply again, switch me to the live people. So it takes some time, but it's like progressing, and it's large language module. Then there's an HPC. So typically there you you need to count something. So you got a supercomputer in a data center, you ask him for a task, you got like, I don't know how many servers you want, and they start to work on that, and you got like one outcome. That's the end of the task. You got an answer. So GPU accelerator used in HPC. Enterprise AI, it's something where the work of the human, it's like replaced by computers, by AI. So it's reducing the human mistakes and so on. Virtualization design, of course, content delivery, it's GPT chat and the others. And HAI, it's something which will still, I would say, be more and more, how to say, HAI, you got it in your pocket, it's a phone. So you have a device, you just need the connectivity to the internet, and you are touching the storage somewhere in the data center, and you can use it, you can ask to make anything, and you get it just to your phone. So that's it. This I already touched a bit. This is the overview of GPU accelerators which we use in our systems. You can see there as well some new GPUs. Market is coming soon, but the rest is currently available in our systems which are dedicated for HPC computing and for GPUs. This is something what we asked many times our technical guys to make some comparison for which workload best fits which GPU. This is comparing mainly performance to price. So if you find there something where you wanna maybe plan to offer the HPC or whatever, so you can see there's some. I would say it's not a recommendation, but it's up to you, of course. That's just to know maybe, or get the first knowledge where to go with the GPUs. If to go to I don't know, Omniverse, for example. So you want to find there the dedicated or best fits, or how to say, GPU. Here I wanted to clarify why to use the GPU. I don't want to read all the points, but I highlighted these 5 points where it's helping, why to use the GPU accelerator, and what it brings. Yeah. The most important, maybe as an outcome of that it's a dedicated for these things. On the first view, it can look that it's quite inexpensive, but in the end, you can't do that with a CPUs. You can't do that with anything else if you will combine it from a CPU. So it will be much more expensive than with using of GPUs. So in the end, it's cost effectiveness of that to use the GPU accelerators. If you want to build the AI infrastructure on systems, on HPC systems, so you have to know in the beginning some points. It's quite important to know the concept. You need some planning. You need a data center for that, because it works with big loads of data, of course. And what is it in the fact? It's some compute node or compute nodes. It's not limited. Yeah, currently you can use. I would say how many you want. Yeah. What is very important? It's a network. You need to very fast, very quick throughput of the network, because you need to collect all the information from the servers, which are the units for the counting of that what you request. Of course, you need some storage where you store the data. for some machine learnings and so on, and there needs to be some management on the top. So that's some for orchestration, because it's just like a building block for each HPC. If you know this, so you have to know why you need it. That's the point. Yeah. So you have to know the workloads. You have to know what you will use it for. Yeah, you of course need to make some monetization and the things. Yeah. So that's the point, and of course you need a data center, and then you should choose if you go air cooled or liquid cool. That's big term for now. Now all the HPCs going mostly to liquid cool where it's possible, because it's more cost efficient. It's better for the demands for the HPC systems. So that's definitely the trend of where it goes. And yeah, you need some deployment time, and you need to design the GPUs. What will you use for which workloads and so on. So that's just briefly what's needed. I had some use cases. I hope you heard about that. We have installed the biggest HPC system in the world currently. It's Colossus. It's Elon Musk system. It's unbelievable 6,144 8 GPU 4U systems. So if you multiply it, so it's close to 50K of GPUs, H100. So it's like $500 million, something like this. So that's already in place. That was deployed like 4 months, something like this, 122 days, something like this. And yeah, so it's running on Supermicro systems. Yeah, there's another use case. We installed 12 direct liquid cooled racks to university in one of the university in Eastern Europe. It's based on install basis Dragonfly. 2 racks are air cooled. There's 96 direct liquid cool GPUs with H200 GPUs. Running on storages using the Veka software here. So that's gonna be last slide from my side. We can provide for you the consultation. We can reserve for you the resources from the technical side. I mean the pre-sales, the technical guys of Supermicro. We can work with you on a design, on let's say the workloads which will be used, what will be the best to use, which system, which CPU, which GPU. Then of course it's always done the testing, and finally we are going to the most cases, or maybe to all of them, not to smaller systems, but to let's say bigger. So it's always installed by Supermicro people, by Supermicro technical people, and of course there's support as well. So thank you. Thank you.
Petr Karbus, thank you very much. The questions from the audience. Anybody? You didn't mention before you're globally present, but which are the biggest customers of yours in Slovenia?
Ask this guy.
Institute Joseph Stefan then?
Yeah.
You mentioned the Elon Musk Colossus. What was building it like? What was it like? Can you just describe the procedure and how big monstrum is that?
Oh, that's I don't know how many thousands of square meters it is, but you can imagine it's over 6,000 systems. Yeah, so one system, it's like this. It's the rack. So you got over 6,000 of them. And I mentioned this, the installation and all the deployment, it takes 122 days, something like this. So. Sorry? Where is it located? I don't know. Memphis.
Probably in orbit.
Yeah, but of course, for sure, you know that there exists the top, I don't know how many is it, 500, I think, the list of the biggest hypercomputers. It's you can find it on the web, so you can just check that's really the biggest. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.